Hey y'all, today I'm going to talk about making a difference. And the thing you got to think about is you always influencing other people. Whether you know it or not, people are always watching you. The people closest to you, they see what you do, they hear what you say, and even complete strangers. Your whole attitude, your persona when you enter a room can change the whole basic temperature of that room as far as how people feel, how they act, and if they're already in a bad mood or stressed out, your mere presence can change that sometimes. So always think in terms of getting your mind right and having your thoughts on a positive leaning direction always, because that's where miracles happen. That's where really, really good things happen, is when you're in a positive mind state. And you have to fight for that. You have to keep yourself there all the time by consciously focusing on what's good. As human beings, our natural tendency is to focus on find things that are wrong. Number one, they call it our reptilian brain, and it's designed for our survival. There was a time when we had to always have our head on a swivel, or we get, eaten up, or, severely beaten or killed because we weren't aware of things going on around us. And today, we have so many of the things that we used to worry about and have to fiend for. They're taken care of now. So we don't have to be in that state all the time, but we're still wired that way. And the most common evidence I can give you of that is if you went all day and you were consciously aware of where your mind was going, you would find yourself getting centered on so many things that aren't right in your life that it would blow your mind. You would just be baffled by how many times you were led down a road of thinking such and such isn't right, or I really got to get this done, or this right here is going to affect me in a negative way, so I better do something, and I better do something now. And then the twin pillar of that is worry, fear, doubt. You worry and you fear things that sometimes you don't even have any control over, and you don't even have a reason to really fear them or worry. And you start playing these movies in your brain of certain situations going completely wrong and turning into disasters. And that's what I was talking about when I said about your mindset and keeping that in check and actually controlling the direction of your thoughts. And you do that through things like affirmations and visualization. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but it's so possible to do it. Meditation is another one, journaling is another one, reading the Bible, talking to God, praying. There's so many ways to do it, to keep yourself there. And one of the biggest ones is to have an attitude of gratitude. I'm sorry about the sun, y'all. It's just kind of the way I'm driving home. But I had the thoughts that I had, so I wanted to talk. So I put the camera on and started talking. But yeah, you have to channel your thoughts, because it's almost automatic that you start going towards the negative. But when you have an attitude of gratitude, what you do is you start thinking of all the good things that are happening in your life, all the good things that have happened in your life, and it starts to really pump you up. It starts to really make you feel good, and it starts to give you some continuity, because you start thinking in terms of, okay, this happened in a way in which I wanted it to happen. It could be a certain aspect of a goal that you want to accomplish or a vision that you have. And then you think to yourself, okay, so by this particular thing happening and me getting to this level, I am, let's throw a number out there, I'm 35% towards my goal. Well, that's good, because maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, you weren't even 2 to 3% towards your goal. So it's something to look at from a standpoint of growth and encouragement, and also increasing your belief. And your belief is a huge factor in your success. So work on your outlook in life, and you do that by taking a proactive approach to your thoughts in the present, constantly, always doing that, always being mindful of where your mind is at, and it will help you tremendously. You don't have to be a Pollyanna, pie in the sky, thinking like that. That's not necessary. That's not what you're doing. But in those times when you are just living your life and a negative thought hits you, you can swat it away by doing that. And if it's bad enough that it does demand your attention, just write it down. Write down whatever it is that you have to take care of it, and by all means take care of it. But most successful people already have a list of things that they really have to do or they want to get accomplished, and it's just a matter of checking them off and getting them done over time. And if you don't have that, you should have that, so that anything that pops up, you just say to yourself, it's already in the queue. It's going to be taken care of. It's in the queue. So just tell yourself, hey, kind of chill out on this. It's going to be all right. I'm working on it already. And that way you're not pulled to and fro with worries and being like that piece of bark on a turbulent set of waters, where it's just going to and fro, and it's just being blown, and it's floating all over the place. It's blown by the wind all over the place, and the water and the currents taking it all over the place. That's where our thoughts can be sometimes, and we don't have to go through that. So going back to my original thought, which was how you influence other people. When you work on your thoughts like that, you can do it tremendously. When you walk in a room, you change the whole temperature of that room, because you don't assume the attitude of the people in that room. You already have your own. You already have your solid foundation. You're standing on assuredness, that you already feel, a confidence, and people they'll glean from that. And some people are really drawn and attracted to it, and that's one of the biggest keys to leadership, influence. And one of the best ways to influence other people is really have a ton of control over your emotions and your actions, and work on that the way I just talked about. Like I said, I didn't get into a whole lot of detail, but I gave you a lot of good points, good things to work on to get your mind in a really good state, and a state where you're protected and you're not easily influenced by your environment. So yeah, look at your life in that way, that you're always influencing other people, either good or bad. Try not to fly off the handle at the slightest little thing. Keep yourself calm, and that calmness will help you to get answers a lot quicker. You can be very, very aggressive and very very pointed, but another word I'm looking for is deliberate, very deliberate in your actions, what you do, very decisive. And you could do that and also be very strong and stand on what you believe in and get your point across. By all means, do all of that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about not losing control, not letting your emotions dictate completely your actions, because your emotions are fickle. They're up one day, down the next, or it could be that way for an hour, hour and a half. That's something you should control. As an adult, you should have complete control over that. You're not a teenager anymore, and that's a big thing that influences people. It really makes people not trust you, If you can't control your emotions and you fly off the handle, it's only a matter of time before you're going to hurt somebody else that's close to you, and you're going to do it, but it's not going to be intentional. It's not going to be something that you intentionally meant to do, but you're going to hurt somebody's feelings and make them feel really, really bad, only because you're feeling bad and you're just venting, you're just letting everything out. So do the things I talked about. Just calm your mind and get in a mindset to where things don't affect you to the point that you lose control. And always have control of your emotions and your mind and your actions. Know what you're doing is going to positively impact the whole situation and impact your goals in a positive way, so that you're going to get what it is that you want. And that way you're very, very deliberate, you're very calculated, and you have to think in those terms. In order to be super successful, that's the other thing. You have to dictate what's going to happen in certain situations. You can't wait on a boss to tell you. And you can't wait on parents or a loved one or siblings. You have to decide, and you have to make the move. And you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. And you can't always live your life according to your circumstances or situations. Get out of here. Okay, I'm good. Turn on red right there. Yeah, everything should already be to the point that you know what you want and you know what you're trying to accomplish. So the situations in life, they're almost like a backdrop, and honestly, certain times you can use perceived mistakes or situations to your advantage. If you're really, really clear on what you want, you can take something that on the surface looks like it's a setback, and then you could pivot from that and then get closer to where you want to go because of the way you react to this perceived setback. It's just a matter of having a mindset of knowing what you want. A lot of really good managers do that, or administrators. They're really good at that, like taking the situation and flipping it around and making it into something good, in which the company or the whole group of people that they're in charge of get to move forward as a result of whatever happened, because they know clearly what they want to happen. They always say the person that knows how will always be working for somebody who knows why. So always know why, have a clear grasp of what it is you want to accomplish, and again, that will help your mindset. That will help you to be positive. That will give you a bright outlook on your future, because you know exactly where you're going, and no matter what gets thrown your way, you just kind of fold that over into creating an opportunity to move forward. Okay, so I hope that helps you, and that's pretty much it for today. I'll catch you again soon, but have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.